I sure did try to make a comeback. I wanted it some kind of bad. I wanted to do really good heading into the last day of this event, and I knew I needed a really good day to definitely win it. I needed a really good day to just get in the top 6 to kind of keep things moving forward with me and make the All-American. But I knew I probably needed 18 or 19 pounds to win the event, and fishery was fishing so tough after that storm rolled through, and even before the storm rolled through, it was still pretty tough, but the storm just added an extra layer on top of it. So I knew it was going to be tough, and I knew I had a big decision to make. Do I go run brand new water that I've never fished before and just hope for the best, or do I go back and play it safe? And I chose to go back to play it safe. I had caught so many fish on the second day of this event that I said, there's at least I know that there's going to be a spot where I'll have opportunity to catch fish. I just was hoping that these 12 and 13 inchers that weighed 1.5 pounds would turn into 3 and 4 pound fish. And so that was my game plan. I went right back to this spot. You can see it right here. I'm looking at the exact same point, the exact same shale bed, the exact same area. I've got the Ultrex on spot lock. I'm pointing right at these rocks, and it doesn't take long for me to actually start catching fish. I knew there was a time as well. I knew that this bite, based on the tide, when it would start pulling out, it was gonna be at about 11:30. I knew, so if you just hang tight until 11:30, the bite's gonna pick up. So any fish that you catch before 11:30 was gonna be a bonus fish for me. And once I got here, once I made the decision to go here, I was locked into it. I literally came to this spot, and I believe I sat down for 4 hours on it and moved around it and then trolled around it and up and down 100 yards this way, 100 yards that way, and I didn't crank the big motor up for at least 4 hours. And that was my game plan. I was just hoping for the best. I was hoping these smaller fish would turn into bigger fish. And they did a little bit. I caught a couple of better keepers. But for the most part, it was more of the same in regards to fish quality. This is a kind of a cool clip here. I knew we were in the right spot. I knew that my fish were still here. My co-angler was actually sticking some fish, and he stuck a couple of really decent fish that would have certainly have helped me. But kudos to him catching them. But he just sticks one there, and I help him net it. And that kind of gives me confidence. And then it only takes me 2 or 3 casts later, and I actually stick one. So the fish were there, and it was 11:30. And I had previously told my co-angler to just kind of hold out until 10:30. That's when this bite is going to start. And anything that we catch before 11:30, again, is going to be a bonus fish. So that's kind of exactly how it worked out. Just at 11:30, it was like the dinner bell rang, and it's a tidal fishery. And tidal fisheries are all about tides, and when it's pulling, that water pulling or that water pushing, just kind of water movement. And I had known, based on the day 2 of this event, the first day out, that's when I started getting bit on this spot. So I knew to come back and make sure I was here on this spot.
Told you 11:30.
I knew I needed to make sure that I was here on this spot at 11:30, because that's when my best percentages of catching fish were going to be.
I'm not going to have enough to win this thing unless a couple of 5-pounders show up, but I found a pattern this week.
This fish isn't a giant, but it's a decent fish, and it's my second fish of the day, I believe, and it gives me confidence in this place, and I'm thinking at this time, okay, if I can just manage to catch 2 6-pounders, I've got a shot here. So it was good knowing that what I had found was gonna pay off, and it was good knowing that I was able to adjust based on conditions, based on weather, and come back to a spot and grind on it and have confidence in that spot. These rock piles and this shale bed were definitely holding fish. Just had to find a way to catch the better quality. So that was a challenge. That was the goal for the afternoon here, from 11:30 till I think I had the weigh-in at 4:45. So from 11:30 to 4:15, I was just dead set on trying to catch as many 4-pounders as I could. I do catch this fish in this clip you just saw. It's a pretty cool clip. I had a great co-angler, man. He was a good net man. He's just a good guy overall. I really liked him. This crankbait comes out of this fish at the boat while the fish is jumping, and the co-angler scoops in and gets him at the last second. You can see the crankbait flying through the air there. I give him a thumbs up. You know, he got me a keeper, so I'm very, very grateful for my co-angler, and he deserves a shout out. You know, he was a really, really good guy. Nothing but great things to say about him. For the life of me, I cannot remember his name. I'll have to go back and look at the results to see. But if you're out there watching, I think he's from the Philadelphia or Pennsylvania area, so thank you. But I was on the search for big fish, and then all of a sudden, I get a bite. And it's a bigger bite. I'm going to let you watch this clip, and we'll talk about it.
I'll get back.
I still don't know what it is for sure. Tail's kicking the line. Nice, that's the kind I've been looking for all week. That's the kind I'm looking for. All week I've been looking for this.
You're in here.
That's the kind I'm looking for. That's solid 3.
So yeah, that's definitely the kind I have been looking for, especially during the tournament. And this thing hit it. It was the best bite of the week, my best fish of the week, and it came right off of this same shell bed. And he hit it so hard, and felt so much bigger than really what he was. I thought it didn't even know for sure that it was a bass. I thought maybe it was a bigger striper, or maybe even a catfish. I had caught a couple of catfish this week as well. And so this fish, I get a little pumped after this fish, because I'm like, I'm still in this thing. I know I don't have a whole lot of weight, but if I start catching fish like this, we're going to be able to move up. We're going to be able to move up really quick. And this fish helped. It helped a lot. And again, I keep going back to the same thing. My pattern is there. It's producing fish. At this point in time, this is my 4th keeper. My co-angler has 4 in the boat. I mean, this spot over 2 days has produced, at least 2 dozen fish, I guess. More than that, maybe. So, pattern is there. It's working. I just got to catch some better quality, man. But, before we worry about that, I do need to go back to the grind here and put that 5th keeper in the boat. And honestly, it doesn't take long for me to do that.
Sometimes tubes.
My first cast with that crankbait. That's why you have multiple colors of a crankbait. In case you lose one, you can. That's why you sharpen your hooks too. That's why you retie your line. That's why you do all the stupid stuff that I do. So you get a bite and you get him in. I'm pretty sure that's the time. Look at him. In all his glory. That's my lemon, dude.
Unfortunately, I was unable to catch anything else the rest of the afternoon that would help me in this event. So I actually ended the day with my 5 fish limit for 9 pounds and 9 ounces. And that gave me a total weight of 16 pounds and 15 ounces for this event. So, right there at 17 pounds for 2 days of fishing. And that is what it is. I just could not get on the big bites. I had a much better day the second day of fishing, and I actually moved way up in the standings. Actually, the final standings, I finished in 37th place. I look at the weights and I'm saying, okay, if I had caught a 3-pounder, on the first day of this event, I'm sitting in the money. I actually get paid in this event. And you keep looking at the weights and what could have been, what should have been. And if, I was just right there at, where I really wanted to be. I just needed 2 or 3 more key bites to really put me over the top. I was definitely on fish. I just couldn't get the right bites that I needed. But that's fishing, and this event is much like my entire season 3. It's full of personal victories. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by a personal victory? Well, several times this year, I've been struggling in practice, and I'm able to finally find one bite that kind of gives me a clue and gives me an idea, and then I'm able to put it all together on tournament day. And while I didn't finish in the money, I did much better at a location in season 3 than I did in season 2. So it's kind of like a personal accomplishment for me to finish the way I did and do better than what I could have done. So this event was like that, and I had nothing going into this tournament. I had one spot that I had caught 2 fish on in practice back to back. And I looked at the map while my grass line was getting pounded during this nor'easter storm that was rolling through, and I said, what else have I found? And I had one spot, and it was this rock pile that honestly I didn't even know it was a rock pile at the time, but once I got to it on the first day of this event, I was able to kind of diagnose it more and really settle down into it. So just this event was just another personal victory for me. Am I happy finishing in 37th? No. Am I happy that I beat, a whole lot of guys? I beat a few pros. I beat, some guys that fish the FLW tour. That's cool. But the ultimate goal was to finish in the top 6 and to make it to the All-American and, perhaps even win this thing. I don't feel like I was that far off from doing that. I feel like I was actually really close. I just needed a few key bites. I needed some of these 12-inchers to turn into, 3 and 4 pounders. That didn't happen for me this event, but again, this event and really the entire season 3 has just really been another year of learning, another year of growing as an angler. And if anything, it's lit a fire that burns harder in me to do better next year and to move forward and to just become a better angler, And so that's going to be the continued goal. We're going to continue to try to develop. We're going to continue to try to work on new skills, learn these new locations, learn how to break down a lake. Like, that's really, really important. Like, us guys that don't have the time to take off an entire week to break down a body of water and pre-fish, it's really important for us to be able to learn how to break down a fishery and break it down in like 1 or 2 days, because that's what we're dealing with sometimes. So I want to continue to work on that skill. I want to continue to work on all the things that are required to be a great tournament bass angler. I think I've progressed some this year. I think we're on the right track. I really do. If you look at where we were all the way back 3 years ago to where we are now, I definitely can say that we're better. We're sitting in a better situation now. We're better at what we're doing. I'm not cashing a lot of checks, but I'm catching more fish. I'm catching a lot more fish. But that's the Potomac. That's where we finished at. That's what happened. That's a week of practice and 1 bad weather system and 2 hard days of fishing. So I hope you've been able to watch these series of videos for season 3 and to see how I've progressed and see how it all culminated with this event. And I'm very, very grateful for everybody that's followed. I've gotten more emails and more messages from people this year than ever before, kind of rooting me on, trying to give advice, and just becoming fans, I guess. And that's really cool to see. And I also get a lot of messages that my videos are helping people. Like maybe you're able to look at this video 3 years from when it was made and say, hey, that damn orange crankbait might catch him in the fall. So things like that. I hope maybe I can help somebody, and I hope you can see that I'm, how I'm growing as an angler, and how I'm doing everything in my power to get better and to become one of the best anglers that fish these events. But that's that. That's the Potomac. And that's season 3. I'll see you.
Boom, jakalaka, that's what I'm talking about.